Good evening, and today's special broadcast as Team NaMo 2.0 gets sworn in today. We are going to sit here and discuss the key highlights. What's the larger messaging? That's the big question. Modi Cabinet 2.0. What is the message that is being sent across by the choices that have been made? There are roughly about 24 new faces that have been brought in. Some big names are missing from this cabinet who were there in round one, brought in 2014. Senior names as well as others who've now been dropped. What does that really mean? And of course, the big question with Amit Shah in Modi cabinet, who is going to be running the BJP? So we continue with this conversation. Anurag Chaturvedi, Vinay Tiwari and Bharat Raut continue with me in our studios. I've also got Mr. Baksha Sen, who's joining us from Delhi. Vinay, let's begin with this because I'm very intrigued. The rule for BJP has been that if you are a minister in the cabinet, then you can't continue with the post of BJP president. Basically, you can't have two posts.
Yeah, one man, one part post.
Yes. But is there a possibility that that rule gets changed? After all, if Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah are of the view that that can be done, is it a possibility?
No, with this current formation that I see of the cabinet, which has been announced right now, I don't see that happening at all. Because I'm very clear that if that was the case, Mr. JP Nadda would have been part of the cabinet in some form or the other. The fact that he's not part of that cabinet tells you that he's obviously been sounded out for an important party role, and that is obviously the president's job. And remember, Mr. Nadda is a very close confidant of both Mr. Shah and Mr. Modi. And when you're handing over the reins to somebody else, you really will put a loyalist or a confidant there and not somebody else.
Okay, do you agree, Mr. Rao? JP Nadda, and does he have the credentials that are required to be a party president for BJP?
Listen, definitely I shall go by what Vinay Tiwari says. Nadda, since he has been left out of the cabinet, he is not left out. He has been kept in reserve. That is only because he is to be given some another position, and that position could be of a party president only, nothing else. Now the question is, he is confident of both Narendra Modi and Amit Shah. Number two, he is an organization man.
Correct.
He has the blessings of RSS.
Correct.
With these three things, now only thing what is lacking is he is lackluster. He is not a face in public. But that BJP is okay with that. When, if you remember, when Amit Shah came as the president of BJP post 2014 victory, what was his face? He had no face. If at all he had a face, it was maligned by what had happened in Gujarat. He was extradited from Gujarat.
Yes.
Despite that, he was made president. He became one of the most successful, not one of the most successful president of BJP since its inception. So, and now here is a time when, if at all Jugaad is to be played, now is the time for both Modi and Amit Shah.
What do you mean by Jugaad?
Jugaad is trying the luck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but here is, let me rephrase this to say, Mr. Chaturvedi, that if Amit Shah is in the cabinet, is that a smart decision according to you? Because like Mr. Bharat Raut was also saying, and everybody will agree that Amit Shah as the party chief has done wonders for the party. Nobody perhaps in our country can beat him when it comes to political strategy, the way he uses it. And that partnership between Narendra Modi and Amit Shah really works in government and leading the party. They still have some crucial states where they've made inroads, for example, like West Bengal, or even if they want to grow further in South. That work is yet to be done. So is this a smart decision to pull him out right now and bring in a new man?
Yeah, I think so, because new man will be confident of Amit Shah and Modi ji. And
in fact, I'm sorry, I'll interrupt you, but I believe Mr. Pradhan is just giving a reaction.
मोदी जी कैबिनेट मोदी जी सरकार बहुत आशा आकांक्षा को लेकिन तैयारी होती दिग्दर्शन को दृष्टि को दृष्टिकोण को नुआ ओडिशा को नुआ भारत को तैयारी करने जो योजना अच्छी से आम समस्ते मन प्राण देकी काम करूँ। आज तो मु केवल प्रधानमंत्री को धन्यवाद जनाऊँ ओडिशावासी पाखे कृतज्ञता ज्ञापन करुच्ची से जो अद्भुतपूर्व जनसमर्थन देले महाप्रभुंकर जगन्नाथ आशीर्वाद आम उपर अच्छी आमे मन लगे कि गत 5 वर्ष धरिकी मोदी सरकार अनेक भल काम କରିଛି ସେଇ ବିଶ୍ୱାସ ଯୋଗୁଁ ଆଜି ଦ୍ୱିତୀୟ ଥର ସରକାର ଆମେ କରିପାରିଛୁ ସେ ଆଶାକୁ ପୁରା କରିବାର ଆମେ ମନ ପ୍ରାଣ ଦେଇକି କାମ କରିବୁ ନାନାକୁ ନେଇ
Okay, he's thanked Prime Minister Modi there for the opportunity and for the representation given to the state of Odisha, which is where Dharmendra Pradhan is from, and says that I'm going to, work and give my best for the next 5 years. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
So what I was telling is that even when Atalji and Advaniji were in government, at that time, BJP came with very faceless kind of people like Bangaru Lakshman, Venkaiah Naidu or Jai Krishna ji. So this is a tradition of BJP that when you are in government, party can run with your trusted people. It's reverse in the Congress. In Congress, Prime Minister can be faceless, but the party should be strong-headed.
But that wouldn't last 10 years when...
So this maybe not last because and as you said that even in West Bengal elections are there, so they have very trusted lieutenant like Kailash Vijayvargi, those who knows the tricks of the trade, and every day their TMC MLAs are shifting their loyalties. So their work is going on, and the government work now they want to show as a finance minister if he joins, then it may be a different kind of a story altogether.
Okay, I will come to that point in just a bit because obviously there's a lot of speculation of what he'll get. The fact that he will be on Raisina Hill, I think is, everybody agrees that that's what is going to happen. What will he get? The choice seems to be between defense and finance. Because everybody is expecting that home will continue with Rajnath and Jaishankar will take in external affairs. But before I come to that aspect, here is the other question, Mr. Badshah Sen. Now that we know that JP Nadda is not in the cabinet, he looks like a probable party chief. Are there any other names that you would think, could have been considered instead of Amit Shah to lead the party?
In fact, JP Nadda probably has as many qualifications today as Amit Shah had when he took over as the president some years ago. So I think that JP Nadda is clearly the front runner as far as the BJP. I'd be very surprised if he wasn't made, because we need a replacement. The BJP needs a replacement for Amit Shah because he's clearly it will continue to be one man, one post, so there's no question of Amit Shah running the BJP, being president. So therefore it has to be someone else, and I suspect, not suspect, I'm almost sure that it will be JP Nadda. I'd be very surprised if it wasn't. But then you never know, Mr. Modi keeps bringing surprises, particularly late at night. I'm a bit worried about late night surprises. If you remember one November night, he sprung a surprise on all of us. Yes. So I think, no, I don't see. As far as Amit Shah is concerned, I don't think he's going to be defense minister. Okay. I mean, while the name and all that sounds very powerful, I don't think Amit Shah is going to. It has to be either finance ministry or home ministry, given the fact that it's unlikely that they're going to disturb Mr. Rajnath Singh. I see no other option but Amit Shah to be put in the finance ministry. And I don't see anyone else other than JP Nadda as the BJP chief.
Okay. Do you think, Vinay, it's odd that you have somebody like Piyush Goyal, who's had the additional charge of finance, maybe now 2 times or 3 times in the last government tenure also. He's had exposure even in other, finance-related work that has been done, that they would not consider him but give Amit Shah that?
3 reasons, and 2 reasons are of course speculative and one of course is, I guess, factual. Speculative is this: in the last 1.5 years or so, Mr. Piyush Goyal has been on at least 3 different magazine covers where various media houses described him as the most powerful minister in the Modi cabinet. That's the surest sign of your Samp CD Khel in that cabinet. You're not going to survive being labelled as a powerful man who's got 5 ministries and all very powerful. So from railways to power to coal and now additional finance, he had everything.
Yes.
Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah are smarter than that, right? So that is one probable reason. that he was perhaps becoming a little too powerful in the cabinet and very, very important cap person, and also because it needs a lot of time to handle all these portfolios. There are other reasons, I think. I think it also tells you Mr. Amit Shah is perhaps the most trusted man that Modi has. I mean, he's been in Modi's cabinet in Gujarat. In fact, when he was the Gujarat cabinet, he had 12 portfolios with him. So clearly, he's a man that Mr. Modi has trusted even in running ministries. And the fact that he decided to bring him out of the party fold, which is not an easy decision to make because he was clearly running the party brilliantly. There's no question about that. Means that Mr. Modi recognizes that in his second term, he needs effective and trusted men to run some of the key areas.
Yeah.
And I agree with Badsha. Defense, frankly, the job of the defense minister in this country is only to ensure procurement. There is no other work that the defense minister really has. He has to and ensure the procurement happens without any scandal or scam. That's pretty much the job of a defense minister. The more effective ministries are perhaps finance. Home, in any case, was being run half by the Prime Minister's office because, look, for Home Ministry, Kashmir is a big issue. And Kashmir policy is being run by the Prime Minister's office. There's a very little role that Mr. Rajnath Singh has had to play on that. And the rest of it is managing CPOs, which is not a big deal. So and with Jaishankar's arrival, it can't be foreign affairs either. So I think simply by exclusion, it's almost safe to assume that he either can be rural, because I agreed, in fact, we didn't get to discuss it, but I agreed with Badsha that one of the ministries which we're not looking at that closely is rural development. It's a very critical ministry and has a huge purse string in the budget on that ministry. So it's very, very critical. Those are the only two areas which I think were areas of concern in the previous government and need fixing going forward.
Okay, but like you said, this is a critical time because the consumption is slowing down. There is no doubt on that. There is a massive debate on what our economy GDP growth data shows, but there is a larger consensus on yes, there is a slowdown versus what we saw a few years ago. That challenge persists. We are now beginning to see a little bit of increase in prices of our food. Inflation seems to be going up. Private investment hasn't picked up, irrespective of all the government expenditure which has happened. Private companies are still not investing money, setting up new plants. So at this juncture, perhaps one of the biggest challenges for the new government is going to be finance. Mr. Sen, do you think that they will take the risk of giving, finance to Amit Shah at a time when it's at such a critical juncture? What if something goes wrong? Will Amit Shah then have to take the blame for that?
Well, first of all, the person who was handling the finance ministry, that's Arun Jaitley, has clearly said he doesn't want to take that responsibility at the moment. I believe he's not well. So he feels, so and obviously the Prime Minister respects his views. As far as Amit Shah is concerned, I mean, we heard a lot, sitting when we were in Delhi, we heard a lot about the Gujarat model of growth, which was basically done by Mr. Narendra Modi, rightly or wrongly, good or bad, Gujarat model. And I believe that Amit Shah, even then, was a very key component of that. He may have been a minister or in home or whatever it was at that point of time, but he was a key component in that. And one of the big things that has been happening here is a total failure to get in investments into India as far as new investments in industry. Investments have come and they've gone to buy existing industries, no new investments. So I believe that now Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah, that dynamic duo which may or may not have put together the Gujarat model which the world holds so highly, might want to replicate that in a larger scale in India, and Arun Jaitley didn't quite fit into that mold in any case. So I don't think it's a big risk in any which way, to have Amit Shah enter the finance ministry.
Okay.
He has enough skill sets to certainly handle all the more, let's put it this way, the investigative ends of the finance ministry. By investigating people, income tax, ED, and so on. These are all very important components. So
yes.
I think there's no great risk. What you could have said is there's a risk, oh, how can we hand over the party to JP Nadda, who's relatively not held this post before, and so on. But I don't think that also is a risk. I think at the end of the day, what's happened is Mr. Modi is getting older. His frenetic pace cannot go on. So he's put two pillars next to him, probably three if we count Jaishankar, who will handle the day-to-day affairs of the most important components in Mr. Modi's life. The party, JP Nadda, Finance Ministry, Amit Shah, and Foreign Ministry, Jaishankar. I think that's what he's done. He's preparing for probably a slightly slower pace for himself, because you can't possibly have a country being run by one chap, you know, and a party being run. So I think that's what he's done. He's putting blocks in place to create a bigger edifice. That's what I think is happening.
Okay, interesting. And since you mentioned Mr. Jaishankar, perhaps, you know, our longest serving foreign secretary, credited to be, you know, a strong element of the foreign policy during the Modi government's time, he's now been brought in. But what happens to General V.K. Singh then? Because I highly doubt he's going to continue as MOS with Jaishankar at the helm.
Probably not. And I honestly, I mean, if I see his performance, I don't think he was a very spectacular minister either. I think, yes, he's a former retired general, but I don't think he was that spectacular a minister in any case in the previous government. He was there, he had a role which was fairly low profile even within the foreign ministry. I mean, basically his specific department allocation was the passport offices. So that wasn't that high profile a job, it's more administrative and routine. So I don't see him as a contender at all. For anything more than what he's doing currently. So, but you think he will continue them? My point being that if Jaishankar is going to be MOS... So the difference is that the cabinet minister for foreign determines foreign policy.
Yes.
And of course leads your negotiations and so on and so forth. But you also have two other MOSs. One who looks after the overseas Indian affairs and the other looks after the passport, which is the administrative function, which he may continue doing. I mean, whether he wants to do it or not for ego reasons, that's a different issue.
Yes.
But that is frankly non-interfering insofar as the main foreign policy is concerned. Also remember, PMO has a very disproportionate role in the foreign policy currently, and I don't see that going away.
I think many actually also say that even for finance. So
even for finance.
Between PMO and Amit Shah, if they come together, maybe that's how they want to handle the finance ministry as well. Like we have seen when it comes to the foreign ministry.
Look, the reason I'm saying Jaishankar's case, I don't see this as a necessarily, I think it's a thought out decision.
Yes.
And remember, Jaishankar is a man who was equally a blue-eyed boy of the UPA government. He was the blue-eyed diplomat for Dr. Manmohan Singh's government as well. For him to have made successfully a transition to the India government and remained a blue-eye means there must be something really trustworthy in him which the government currently finds him in. Otherwise, Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah are not known to be continuing with the UPA regime bureaucrats at all. I mean, they've gone en masse for changes on that. So the fact that they've picked him out of all of them, he was the man who wrote the Indo-US nuclear civil agreement in many ways, right? So he's obviously good at what he does, and this has been recognized by the current dispensation as well. Okay.
Before we move on, and I bring in my next set of questions, I believe we've got an exclusive conversation coming in with first-time MP Pratap Chandra Sarangi, who's also now been inducted into the cabinet. Let's listen into that.
We're being joined by one of the 21st timers in Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's cabinet. He is from Odisha, Balasore MP, Mr. Pratap Chandra Sarangi. सर, हमको थोड़ा बताएंगे आपको कैसा महसूस हो रहा है? आप पहली मर्तबा मोदी सरकार के कैबिनेट में आए हैं. हमने आपके बारे सुना है कि आप बहुत सिंपल लाइफ जीते हैं. एक थैच्ड रूफ का घर है आपका. बालेश्वर से जनता ने आपको दिल्ली पहुंचाया और आज आप कैबिनेट में हैं.
मैं इस जनता को अपना कृतज्ञता प्रकट करता हूं और माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी को भी कृतज्ञता प्रकट करता हूं कि एक सामान्य देहाती आदमी को ला करके संसद भवन पहुंचा दिया और मंत्री पद भी दे दिया. मैं अपने में एक गौरव की भाव भी अनुभव करता हूं, क्योंकि जिस पवित्र प्रांगण में विश्व की सर्वबृहत्तम गणतंत्र की पावन मंदिर में एक दिन नेहरू से लेकर लाल बहादुर शास्त्री तक, श्रीमती इंदिरा गांधी से लेकर अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी तक और डॉक्टर श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी से लेकर राजगोपालाचारी तक बैठे थे इन महानुभावों. इस पवित्र स्थान में बैठने का चांस मेरे को मिला, इसलिए मैं अपने को भाग्यवान समझता हूँ. परंतु ये कोई विलासिता के लिए चांस नहीं है, ये हमारे ऊपर एक जिम्मेदारी लाता है और ये जिम्मेदारी नरेंद्र मोदी की मार्गदर्शन में हम पूरी तरह निभाने की कोशिश करेंगे.
सर, आपका आगे का क्या कार्यक्रम रहेगा? आप दिल्ली आए हैं, आप केंद्रीय मंत्रिमंडल के एक हिस्सा बने हैं. हाँ, आगे चल के आप अब किस प्रकार का आपको लगता है आपका जो कार्यक्रम है रहेगा?
पहले तो मैं मेरे को क्या विभाग दिया गया ये मालूम नहीं है।
अभी आएगा थोड़ी
परे विभाग बंटन हो जाए, फिर मुझे काम समझने के लिए कुछ समय लगेगा। इसके बाद मैं पूरी योजना प्रस्तुत करके आपको बता सकता हूँ।
और उड़ीसा की वासियों के लिए कोई समाचार सर, क्योंकि हमने देखा इस बार बीजेपी ने उड़ीसा में अपना परफॉर्मेंस बहुत इम्प्रूव किया। 8 लोकसभा सीट बीजेपी जीत के आई है उड़ीसा से।
अभी तो चुनाव समाप्त हो गया, अभी चुनाव की बात, बीजेपी की बात खत्म हो गई। अभी उड़ीसा का नवनिर्माण की बात आती है। हम समझते हैं कि ये सारे 21 सांसदों को लेकर के हम उड़ीसा की नवनिर्माण के लिए ब्लूप्रिंट प्रस्तुत करेंगे और केंद्र सरकार की मदद से इसको साकार करने के लिए कोशिश करेंगे। राज्य सरकार की भी सहयोग लेंगे। हम पूरा बैठ करके उड़ीसा को आगे ले जाने के लिए एक साइंटिफिक योजना प्रस्तुत करेंगे।
So this was the first time person who has found, he's an MP from Balasore and he has found his place this time around in Prime Minister Modi's second cabinet, and this is a clear indication how the Prime Minister this time around has paid heed to performers. He has chosen a merit over anything else. In New Delhi, this is Meenakshi for Mirna.
Well, in fact, we've also got former Union Minister Sushma Swaraj, who's tweeted and she's thanked Prime Minister Modi for the first term. She's also wished him the very best for the second term. Sushma Swaraj chose not to fight the elections, and of course she will be missing from the second cabinet, or Modi government's second term's cabinet as well. But let me come back to MOS Sarangi, first time MP and now also a Minister of State. And Vinay, you were telling us some interesting things about it.
Oh yes, I mean, he's quite a fascinating person. I mean, if you see some of his pictures, even while he was packing to come to Delhi, he lives in a hut which is barely like 10 square feet. Travels on a bicycle. In fact, most of his campaign was actually on a bicycle in Orissa. And has probably the most frugal living that you can think of. So very, very unusual politician, very popular in that part of the country, and very well known. I mean, everybody recognizes him that, but very frugal. I think he's got just 2 changes of his dhoti and his banyan, and he's got just 1 cycle and 1 suitcase. And if you see some of the pictures that came out from while he was packing for Delhi, were just kind of unbelievable. I mean, you don't really see those.
Yeah, Sarangi is, I think, is a very traditional kind of RSS pracharak simplicity. And previously, before, along with RSS pracharak, the socialists or the Gandhians, or even if you see, I remember Madhu Dandwate, he was very common man, and he also traveled by, he used to ride on bicycle to the parliament from one Meena Bagh. And George Fernandez, Indrajit Gupta, they used to live in Western Court, where only in 1 room apartment kind of thing. It's not an apartment even, it's a guest house kind of thing. So simplicity is, I think, one of the virtues of politicians. Now things change recently when they become luxurious and other things. Otherwise, we need more Sarangis, but I feel. Absolutely. And in Indian politics, we should encourage this kind of, and this is a good change that he has been given an important responsibility.
Yes. Okay. So
about Sarangi, I had to recall this at this moment, because when I was a member of parliament, once Sarangi, I knew him for some time, so he came to my house in Delhi, Meena Bagh. And then I just, as a formality, because it was a lunch time, I asked him, would you like to have lunch? And actually I come, he said, actually I come for lunch. Okay, then we had a food, whatever food we had. My wife was there. And then after the food, after we had lunch, then generally the servant would pick up the dishes and go. He said, no, I am a pracharak. My discipline is that if I take lunch anywhere, I have to wash
it myself.
Yeah. And he went inside, washed everything, asked where do I keep them, and then he kept them and then came out. He said that is my
still
shiksha.
That's rooted and
that is my shiksha, that is my training. So I would not go beyond that.
Okay, very interesting, and we'll of course watch out for the portfolio he gets and what he does for our country in the next 5 years. But let's also talk about whether or not there is a messaging here, there is a strategy here, keeping what's coming next for the BJP, whether it's what they've given to their allies. For example, Shiv Sena has also only got one berth, and they've come back very strongly in these elections. Maharashtra goes to poll, so Maharashtra has a huge representation. It's actually the 2nd largest state with that kind of representation. But do you think Shiv Sena would be happy with what they've got?
Shiva Sena even last time wasn't happy.
Yeah.
This time BJP has got more seats.
Yes.
Last time it was lesser than what. That time also Shiva Sena was number 2 party in the NDA. Even that time also Shiva Sena had 18 seats. But that time also Shiva Sena got only 1 cabinet.
Correct.
Then the next was supposed to come 5 years passed, never got the second one. So there was murmuring within BJP, within Shiva Sena about it. The relations were strained, but nobody resigned. Shiva Sena remained with NDA all the time and again continued the relationship. So I don't think they are demanding, and perhaps this time they will get 1 more seat or 2 more seats. That's what it is. 1 MOS with independent charge and 1 with 1 MOS.
Right.
That's what they are supposed to get. But even if they don't get, I don't think anything will go wrong. Same thing with Akali Dal. Akali Dal last time also they had only 1. Now also they continue with 1. Telugu Desam had 3.
Yes.
But Telugu Desam, the Chandra Babu has the trick. He has to muscle. He must show his muscle power whenever it is required.
He was showing his muscle power even though he ended up getting nothing in these elections.
Yeah.
But JDU.
JDU, I think, is a...
JDU is sulking now.
Yes.
So JDU will not join the cabinet now.
No, JDU, I think, has a problem with...
Nitish Kumar is going to be doing some serious introspection tonight about whether or not, he's happy with where he's...
But even if he decides not to continue with NDA...
No, they've decided they will continue with NDA.
That is wise thing that then they will be part of the NDA, but not part of the government.
Yeah.
I don't... This is a strange decision.
Yes.
That you are part of the NDA, but not part of the government.
Mr. Chaturvedi, what is your view?
I think that yesterday, Nitish Kumar had a very long chat with Amit Shah, and there they proposed, I heard that every 10 member of parliaments, they will give 1 ministerial berth. So, Lok Jan Shakti of Ram Vilas Paswan, they have only 6 MPs, but they got 1 cabinet minister.
Yes.
And so, same way they asked 1 cabinet and 1 state minister. But as Bharatji maybe agree with me that for Shiv Sena, they agree only to give 1 seat to Shiv Sena and other seats only after the assembly election on their behavior. If they are good with BJP and NDA alliance, then they may get more seats. So, and for 1 seat, I think Nitish Kumar had some problem with 2 of his trusted men, RCP Singh and Lalan. So they both wanted to become the minister. So for time being, I think, to buy peace with both of them, he decided that, okay, we will keep away. Otherwise, I don't think that Nitish Kumar at this juncture can go without BJP's support, because BJP and Nitish Kumar are interdependent on each other. And Bihar elections are not far away.
Correct.
So he has to, because otherwise in Bihar there are only 3 dominant parts. 1 Lalu party, another Nitish Kumar, and 3rd BJP. If 2 join hands, then they become powerful. And it's a winning combination.
Yes.
So at this time, Nitish Kumar and BJP join hands. Previously, it was Nitish Kumar and Lalu Prasad join hands. And at all the times, these 2 are important. If these 2 join, then it's a formidable combination. So Nitish Kumar has to remain with BJP. I don't think that he can go, but he has to resolve the problem of his too confident, Lalan Singh and RCP Singh.
As far as Shiva Sena is concerned, I don't think BJP can take it for a ride for a long time, because assembly elections are around the corner. So I don't think that they can keep bluffing that will give you more posts.
Are you anticipating more drama between the 2 of them in the next 5 months?
But that drama, I don't think will come in open, because they have learned the lesson that
from
if we break the ties, they both suffer.
Yeah.
So therefore, it will not happen. I am told that, and that has appeared in newspapers also, that even 1 governor's post has been assured to Shiva Sena.
Okay.
So if that goes well, then they will be happy couple. But otherwise not. Another thing is, they say 1 ministerial berth per 10 seats. Now Ramdas Athavale has not done 1.
Yes.
Even then he gets the seat.
He's got one, yes.
He got one.
Yeah.
Ram Vilas Paswan has only one seat.
Yes.
And he also got the minister.
Even he is not member of parliament.
He is not a member of parliament.
Even Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha.
So it's odd, Vinay, in that sense, it doesn't matter how many seats an ally has brought to the table for the Lok Sabha polls. They're probably thinking the state elections that will come in the next 2-3 years and ensuring that all the allies are just
it all depends on the arm twisting tactics.
No, look, if anyone, I think if anyone actually thought that whatever the Prime Minister was saying or Mr. Amit Shah was saying that we are a party, we carry everybody together, then they don't understand BJP at all. You know, they are not the coalition-minded party at all. Certainly not Mr. Shah and Mr. Modi. They are antithesis to coalition politics. They believe in the concept of hegemony where they are the ones who rule and govern everything they can see. Of course, when you need, you of course reach out. But then this politics is about numbers, and in mathematically, Mr. Nitish Kumar has gotten himself into a jam. Because if you sulk without mathematics on your side, there's no point.
Correct.
He may sulk whatever he wants to, but Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah...
So who is he doing this for?
Well, he's doing it for his own party. He needs to show them that he's trying to fight for them. I mean, there's no other constituency he can reach out to because clearly Mr. Shah is not listening to this. It was very obvious that this is what they will get. All the regional parties will get one each. Mr. Rathore, of course, has got it for other reasons. He's a face for the backward politics in India, and he can't be seen to be because that creates a different narrative altogether.
Correct.
So that, of course, is not going to happen anytime soon. And I don't see this changing much in the way BJP. They've come back with 300 plus seats. Why would they change that at all? So they're not going to do that.
No pressure from the allies
no pressure
at
from
all.
The allies.
Ramdas Atul is a different phenomena. He has projected himself as the leader of the downtrodden.
That's
right. If he cannot get elected on one seat,
correct.
In Maharashtra that too.
Correct.
And how can he project himself as the national downtrodden leader?
See, in LJP's case, for instance, Mr. Paswan made a strategic blunder.
Okay, in fact, Mr. Rathore is speaking right now. Let's listen in.
मेरी पार्टी ऑल इंडिया लेवल की पार्टी है, लेकिन मेरे पार्टी के पास कोई संसदीय संख्या तो नहीं है, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी मैं लगातार 2014 से मैं नरेंद्र मोदी जी के साथ, बीजेपी के साथ, इंडी के साथ रहा हूँ और मैंने प्रामाणिकता से मेरी भूमिका लोगों के सामने रखी है। जो बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर जी को मानने वाले लोग हैं, दलित है, आदिवासी पिछड़े हैं, ऐसे लोगों को बीजेपी की भूमिका, नरेंद्र मोदी जी की जो भूमिका है, ये भूमिका समझाने की कोशिश मैंने की है और इसीलिए मुझे लगता है कि मेरे पार्टी के ज़्यादा एमपी ना होने के बावजूद भी मोदी साहब ने मुझे ये मौका दे दिया है और मुझे जो भी मतलब मंत्रालय मिलेगा वो मंत्रालय का काम मैं अच्छा करूँगा और पूरे देश भर में जो सबका साथ सबका विकास का नरेंद्र मोदी जी का जो नारा है, चाहे हिंदू हो या मुसलमान हो, ईसाई हो या बुद्धिस्ट हो, सिख हो, सभी जाति धर्म के लोगों को न्याय देने के लिए जरूर मतलब मैं काम करता रहूँगा और मैं मोदी जी का हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ कि भाई उन्होंने रिपब्लिकन पार्टी को अपने एनडीए के मंत्रिमंडल में उन्होंने रखा है और मैं अच्छा काम करता रहूँगा।
सर, जिस हिसाब से कुछ लोगों का मानना है, ये कहना है कि भाजपा या एनडीए के अंदर बीजेपी सरकार में दलितों की पूछ नहीं है या दलितों को इम्पोर्टेंस नहीं दी जाती, दलितों को इम्पोर्टेंस और पूछ ना देने वाली जो बात है तो कहीं ना कहीं
मुझे लगता है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी का प्रचार है। मतलब दलितों के बारे में नरेंद्र मोदी जी बहुत अच्छा सोचते हैं। जिस तरह बाबा साहब के संविधान के बारे में, बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर जी के संविधान को नमन करके उन्होंने एनडीए ने दिए हुए जो लीडरशिप है, वो लीडरशिप मतलब उन्होंने जब मतलब एनडीए ने जब उनका नाम प्रधानमंत्री पद के लिए अनाउंस कर दिया तब उन्होंने संविधान को नमन कर दिया था। तो संविधान का भारत खड़ा करने की कोशिश उनकी है और नरेंद्र मोदी जी दलित विरोधी नहीं है। जो लोग मोदी जी को दलित विरोधी सब बोलते हैं वो लोग ही दलित विरोधी है और अभी कौन दलित विरोधी है, ये पूरे दूध का दूध पानी का पानी इसी तरह का जो रिजल्ट आया है तो उसमें दलितों का जो वोट है ये 50-60%.
That was, and we were speaking about him, and coincidentally his reaction came in and defending that whole aspect that no, BJP is not anti-low caste or anti-Dalit at all.
No, I was making a point about Ram Vilas Paswan. He made a strategic mistake by trying to push a ticket for his son. Chirag Paswan, right? I mean, his only claim to fame so far has been making a film.
A Bollywood film?
Bollywood film called Mile Hum Na Mile Tum. Or something like that, which is pretty much the case with his ministry, because it's not going to come to him. I mean, he has no other experience at all. So I don't see why Mr. Paswan was pushing for it. The three of the other people who won are also his family members. So I guess even though he didn't contest, Mr. Modi had no option but to ask him to join the cabinet because there's no one else who can take that responsibility.
Yeah, but there is one rider also in that case, because in Chirag's case, he would have got only state ministership. And Ram Vilas Paswan was keen about cabinet.
Cabinet.
That's right.
So they in their parliamentary board they decided that it should be Ram Vilas Paswan, not the Chirag. So very tactical. I think both Dalit leadership, Paswanji and our Ram
With the
Das
state elections
Athawale.
coming up as well a year from now.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Badshah Sen, what do you think is the larger message of this cabinet, this council of ministers that has been chosen by Amit Shah and Narendra Modi? A good mix of experience and, you know, young blood there?
Yes, and also a good mix of change and continuity. I mean, there are the good old faces who have been in the cabinet, in the ministry, in the first ministry, Mr. Modi's first ministry, and they continue. They continue, and then there is this change which we are talking about. The change, of course, is far more apparent than the continuity. And the apparent change is Amit Shah in there, Jaishankar in there. These are two very major changes that have happened, and therefore there will be high expectations from these two ministers, probably more than the others. And as I said earlier, these two ministers will be maybe two pillars on which Mr. Modi will rest his government. So there will be actually a three-pillar government as opposed to one pillar, which was Mr. Modi, because Mr. Shah was earlier not in government. He was in the party. So I think this will be a triumvirate with, of course, Mr. Modi head and shoulders above these other two. But nonetheless, good, what should I call them? Good, good foot soldiers or good generals to carry on Mr. Modi's vision.
Right.
That's what I think is and then there are a number of young people like Anurag Thakur has come in. I think he was the head of the BCCI. He managed somehow to play one cricket match in the Ranji Trophy and got in there.
Yes.
But he's there. He's a young guy. I'm a little surprised about Piyush Goyal, but let's see what ministry he gets, because the minister he is in there. Piyush Goyal, he could get one of the infrastructure ministries. It's not unlikely. So he's also relatively young. So yes, mixture of young and old. There are not too many very old people because of that ceiling of 75 placed by Mr. Modi.
Well, let's also talk about Smriti Irani a little bit, Vinay. And she was given INB and then HRD. And both were a little bit of controversial tenures. And then she was given textiles. Now we don't have an INB minister anymore because Rathore has been dropped. Is that a possibility that she's now rewarded for being the giant killer?
Possibly. I mean, she's almost certainly going to get rewarded for sure. I don't see her returning as just the textile minister, because however much we may say, textile ministry is a low-profile ministry. It has limited impact in the modern scheme of things. I mean, of course, it used to be a very important ministry at one point of time, especially at a time when textiles was almost a PSU-run industry. We had NTC, we had hundreds and thousands of laborers, employees under them, large unions. That has dwindled a lot to a large extent, although labor unions still exist in the textile sector, but it's dropped quite significantly. So it was a backroom ministry. Mr. Jaitley is not there as well. So INB was, the cabinet rank of INB was Mr. Jaitley. So you'll obviously have a new INB minister for sure. So yes, that's possible. It's a high profile ministry, INB. But I don't see her stopping only at INB. I have a feeling she may probably either get back HRD or at least some other ministry which is more higher in profile and in terms of the stature that it commands.
Mr. Chaturvedi, can you think of anything else that would perhaps be her reward?
I still feel that even Women and Child Development Ministry is also there.
That's right.
And if they want to, BJP is very gender conscious organization.
Yes. Yeah, good point.
And it has a very good budget allocation also.
Yes.
So, but I feel that she is going to be a very new assignment she is going to get.
Okay.
And where she can prove, and more rural oriented she may be, rather than more fashionable or urban or prominent kind of thing.
Yes.
So she is women to be watched.
Okay. And just if we speak about what challenges and what the country will be should be focusing on, the government should be focusing on policy-wise, there's a lot when it comes to roads and railways and urban infrastructure, power. Power sector, while a lot has improved, there is still a sort of a crisis which continues in parts. In that sense, Mr. Rao, do you think that they will go for continuity with both Gadkari and Piyush Goyal?
Definitely, Gadkari is sure to get the ministry that he was handling,
Yes.
infrastructure development. That also includes roads and shipping, everything.
Yes.
Because he is a flyover man. And he has proven himself as a minister in Maharashtra and also in the center. So I don't think he will be disturbed. And he's very sincere as far as these things are concerned. Yes, but these are backroom ministries. They don't have face.
Yeah.
They you don't come out in the public. But still you need a strong man to get these things done. So Nitin Gadkari is the right person. He will do the job, and so I don't see any reason for his ministry to be changed. For the other things, perhaps they will be reshuffled, as Anurag rightly said.
Smriti Irani. Smriti Irani?
Smriti would get a better portfolio. Women development could be one. Then one portfolio that is not considered very high is about the water purification.
Yes.
Drinking water. Because that then you go home to home.
Yeah. Yes.
Perhaps that type of ministry you will get. And I am again not considering textile as a small ministry. So perhaps apart from textile, she will get other ministries. I don't think Smriti will be, if the choice is given to go for information and broadcasting.
Okay.
Because now with the privatization of transmission, of telecast and broadcast, there is hardly anything to be done. Because earlier, that ministry had a lot of importance because there was only Doordarshan and Akashvani. Now that is not the scene. Doordarshan is just one small game in the whole thing.
Yes.
So I don't think she would be interested in doing this. She would require some, she herself feels that she needs some challenging job. She cannot be given agriculture because she has no agriculture experience. Otherwise, agriculture and rural development were very good portfolios for a go-getter person like Smriti. I don't know whether that will be given to her. But if at all, if any big ministries to be given, agriculture and rural development would be good, because rural development has a huge budget, number 2 budget after defense. We had said it in the earlier program.
Yes.
And lot of funds come directly to RD, from RD to village panchayats.
Yes.
So there is no state government in picture.
And there is a growing sense that a lot of Modi government's or BJP's victory this time can be attributed to what they've done in rural areas and the schemes that have been implemented there.
So there, from union government to the rural folk, there was a bridge, nobody in between.
Correct.
So perhaps she would like to do that type of job.
Okay, so we've run out of time here and pretty much end of the day, we still don't know who's going to be getting which portfolio. There's a lot of guesswork which has happened for sure. There is some inside information that we've had, that we've shared with you about who is at least going to perhaps be on the Raisina Hill along with Narendra Modi. The big takeaway from today, apart from the new faces that have joined in, is that Amit Shah is now part of the cabinet, which perhaps means that BJP will have another party president. Perhaps JP Nadda is what seems to be the consensus, at least amongst our panelists. Maybe later tonight or tomorrow we will get the final list of portfolio allocation, and then there's going to be a lot more discussion on what that really means and the challenges. The challenges are many. Modi government in its first 5 years has implemented a plethora of schemes, but the work isn't finished. And they would want all of that to be completed, the larger projects to be implemented, and the schemes to be led to fruition. Will this term and will this cabinet be able to deliver? Will there be further additions in the coming years? That's the other thing to watch out for. I'm given to understand that there will be a first meeting of this cabinet tomorrow at 5 p.m. So they're all geared up and they're going to get to work tomorrow itself. Of course, stay tuned to Mirror Now. We'll keep getting you all of those updates. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.